gardens would have given the greatest illustration for the painters and artists who enjoy the nature and transferred that nature and its nature's elements into a silk screen, and that was decorated the palace just there, or the castle interior, as is parts of the art. And the screens were used for multiple purposes. They were used for many different reasons. One, to partition a large hall. Secondly, they were as a design concept, bring in the features of the outside to the interior of the palace. These are very unique essence of the palaces during the Chinese period all the way through to different periods here in Japan. Just a garden lantern. See how it sings in with the nature. What is really important here is to focus on the very essence of protecting and preserving the nature, the nature's overbearing weight on that tree being supported by props. It's just holding on to that branch. I mean, they're giving that extra, it's called the extension to life. And that's exactly what humans should be doing. Extension to all humanity, and giving that need of support and upliftment, just like as I've been expressing with my own thoughts as to what and where we should reach out to individuals and people and express our sincere extension to one another. And what is really the essence of here is the kind of extension they have provided to those branches by holding it propped up. This is what we call the teachings of Japanese gardening, and teachings of how to extend life by supporting. Yeah, exactly. It's an aerial view of the palace gardens and its properties, or its buildings, structures. Look at the eye-soaring sight of those concrete towers behind these amazing architectural marvels. And I thought human beings were capable of producing even more beautiful than what we got here. Instead, we've gone for the cheap option by producing bulk instead of quality, strength, and durability, and value the essence of everything we do, instead of just moving on from one product to the next, and instead of producing something durable and lasting that could somewhat give us an answer to our future, how we going to passage through this very difficult juncture in human history on Earth. Yes, folks, look at these. There are some examples. This is only about 450 years of examples here. But if you can reach as further places across the world, you may come across architectural marvels that exist beyond 2,500 years. And those are the experiments and examples we should take on, instead of that concrete jungle just behind is an eyesore for any human being. And somewhat say, It might be ugly. Well, some might say it's not so ugly. It depends on how you look at it. And if you were one of the guys who's renting out those apartment blocks, it might come to you as a beautiful building compared to one here, because out of here you wouldn't be able to make money. Out of those buildings you'll be able to make lots of money unreasonably. Thank you for bringing us color, ladies. Thank you. I love those bright colors. Thank you very much indeed. Yes, it's beautiful. Totally beautiful. Unlike what we are wearing, absolutely has no character. There you go, folks. Learn from some history and try and preserve and protect and be educated to know what is really great. Not a black suit with a white shirt that has a very little meaning. Yes, it has a very little expression to human behavior or to human expression. All it says is I'm cold, I'm in a dark suit, I'm absolutely depressed, and I've got a headache, and I'm so tired, and I'm so cold. Those are the things that comes out wearing a black suit with a white shirt, and it gives a very little hope for us going forward. And those ladies are absolutely a spectacle to look at. Look at those two lovely young ladies dressed in kimonos visiting a historic site that has an importance not just for this nation but for the entire world to learn from. Look at the beauty here. The moat right around these castles. And what is really interesting is to look at those telephone masts and the pylons of what an eyesore. Yes, that's the current set of values, people. The current set of requirement to power our 4G, 3G and our internet. And it scars the beauty of our history, and it scars the beauty of our planet, and it scars the beauty of our human innocence. Those pylons up there, and they're temporary until the next generation of mobile communication is introduced. Those will become obsolete and something of the past. And what is not so obsolete, that opens our eyes, opens our hearts and our breath, gives us a freshness to life, is this historical sites of the world that we can learn so much from and so much to share of its amazing features. What do you think? Maybe nothing. Well, I'm going to leave it just as that. If I explain to you anything specific, you may be able to question yourself, is that what it is? Unless you have engaged previously to these conditions. Sweeping cherry blossom. Very long and tall message by looking and spending almost 10-15 minutes of my time looking through the spectra of the garden that's got weeping cherry blossoms. Please follow the next portion of the clip that is attached to this about my expression on this very tree and our human existence. See this? To see this, you need to be here. Even if you're not here, you can feel to be here. You can see the amount of care and close connection that the human beings have here in Japan with the nature and elements of nature. Compare that to anywhere else, we will not be able to understand our behavior and our aggressive behavior towards, well, never mind trees, to each other very much. We've totally lost the focus on what is very real in human terms. Just 2 minutes ago, it's such an ugly sight. Why? A plastic bag that has got Marks and Spencer written on it. For guaranteed, I will find it when I get back. I will put that on here. Anyway, the place is pristine and clean with nothing on the floor. All we have is a foreign plastic material strewn onto the ground with no regard. Okay, for different perspective of the bridge.